Morning, folks. I'm David, and this is the From the Hip podcast studio. And today we have Victoria Sloan with us. She's a local DFW model. So, Victoria, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Victoria Sloan. I'm a local DFW model. I was born and raised in HEB, and I live on the north side of Dallas. So
That's a
modeling-
ways.
Yes, it is. Well, I mean, everything in DFW is about an hour from anywhere. Just to go to the grocery store, it's like 20 minutes. So with traffic and everything, an hour's not bad.
So you've always been in the area,
Yes.
never lived anywhere else?
No, born and raised in Dallas, lived here my whole life. I'm a Texan.
Well, that's me. I've lived within 100 miles of DFW my whole life.
Yes.
So,
Where were you born?
Paris, Texas.
Paris, Texas. Okay.
But we moved to Fort Worth when I was 2 and spent 7 years in East Texas at Lake Fork,
Okay.
and then moved to Glen Rose for the school system. I had 4 boys. And then back to the HEB area
Yes.
and been here ever since.
Did you go to Bell? Or
No, I went to Trinity. I was
Went
in
to
their
Trinity. I did
second
as well.
graduating class.
Second grade what?
Graduating class at
Second
Trinity.
grade. Okay. Oh, so when it was built as a college?
When it was built,
Yes.
originally, I came in as a junior. And we'd just moved out here.
Okay.
And then junior and senior year there, and half a dozen different colleges over 6 years.
Oh, that's
And-
interesting. Were you just...
Well, I went to DCU
Okay.
for a semester,
Okay.
but it's expensive, very expensive, and I was paying for it.
Hey, that makes it where you want to work harder for it.
Well, it should have. Then I went to Tarrant County Junior College, and I think it's just Tarrant County College now.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Then back to TCU for another semester, UTA, University of Houston for 1 day.
Why is that?
I'd moved up there. My brother had a company, wanted me to work for him. I hated Houston. My girlfriend was here
That's
and was literally my neighbor. And
how convenient.
it was
Too convenient.
while we were together.
Right.
And the first day of class was canceled for hurricane warnings. And I said, screw it. I'm going home.
Well, yeah, anytime it rains, Houston can't drain the water off. It just floods. It's
Well,
a mess.
I didn't like the job. I didn't like the people. Homesick, lovesick. And so I came back.
Aw, I like that. Well, you seem pretty happily married now, so you've got a beautiful wife.
I did a lot better the second time around.
There you go.
The first time I had a beautiful wife, but I was not a good husband.
But
I
you
wasn't a good father. And she put up with my BS for 25 years.
That's a long run.
Yeah, it's stupid. She should have got rid of me 10, 15 years earlier. Seriously, she should have.
Well, things kind of turn out the way they're supposed to. If you-
Amen.
Now, had you gotten divorced earlier, you might not have met your wife that you have now.
Well, she was
Time
married.
might have been crossed differently.
She was married. I was married 25 years the first time. She was married 31 or 33.
There's a lot of loyalty there.
A lot of stupidity on both of our parts.
Hey, well,
You know, what can we say?
right. Well, we live and we learn.
Or we're supposed to.
Well, yeah. Some of us have to learn 2 or 3 times around with
The
just
hard way.
anything, but yes, we do live and learn. So diversity makes us stronger.
So what do you do when you're not modeling?
Well, most of the time I'm actually out shopping around and looking for things for the next shoot. I have 2 grandbabies that I'm raising, so 2 girls, and they're a lot of work, but they're a lot of fun too. So spending time, just taking care of chores, work. And my favorite pastime is actually shooting.
So how long have you been modeling?
Oh, about 4 or 5 years. I had a run of modeling a long time ago whenever I was younger, and a misfortune happened, and I was not able to sign a contract based on a relationship issue. Like I said, we live and we learn many, many years ago. But I was, raising kids, working, things like that. And modeling never really was something that I even wanted to try to go back into. Then with, I had a nose, my nose was broken. So the modeling I was going to do, you couldn't do that. I was going to be a runway model.
Okay.
So, yeah. Back whenever Massimo was super popular. Remember those days?
When what was?
Massimo. So I was a
Okay.
bathing suit model for a while. Runway. I was a stick, I could sell the clothes. So I was actually scouted by a guy named Dan Hollinger, and he worked for Kim Dawson, and it was in Irving Mall, and I was buying a knife as a present. And I was coming off the escalator, and he gave me his business card and told me, I want you to model for me. I want you to, give me a call. And I was like, oh, thank you, but you're not getting in my pants. And he says, I'm serious. So he ran behind me, and I was like, okay. And so I took his card, and then I actually called like 2 or 3 weeks later, and he really worked there. And so, it just escalated from there. I started getting portfolios together that they were doing. They were sending products to my home, like grapefruit drinks, citrus things, just try to keep your skin vibrant and young. And I was a young, fresh chicken then anyway, so I probably didn't need it all, but it was fun to get it. And, some relationships issues of making bad choices. One of my photographers, Glenn, he used to tell me, is your pickers broke? Okay. Yeah, I have learned that. So, but I, was raising kids and career and married, and, modeling wasn't anything that was just, how do you do it? I didn't know any photographers. I had always wanted pictures of me. I was always behind the camera. So I was always taking pictures. I have at least, like just on my phone alone, I have about 50,000 pictures of kids, of just random things in stores, and just, I love to take pictures myself. So I was never really in the pictures when I started to look back, and I said, well, all these years of my beauty is just really not captured. So a mutual friend of mine with the photographer that first started this out for me, she introduced me to a photographer and her husband, and they did eccentric type photography. And so I looked at the pictures and was like, I love this. It was boudoir. I was like, I love this. I want this.
How long ago was that?
2020 or right at the beginning of 2021.
Okay, 4 years ago.
And yes, I've been addicted ever since. It's my favorite thing to do. It's healthy. It's very empowering. You look at the pictures, and you also look at the time progression, from when I started to now, and you see yourself just changing in better ways. And then you also, at a lady of my age, you see a few things changing differently, but I embrace it. I'm like, okay, I'm still hot for 50. I'm still doing okay.
Now, see, I thought you would go the whole podcast without telling your age.
No, I am actually 49.
Okay.
Yes, I'm 49. So a lot of times, people are really shocked. They're like, grandchildren. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm a lot older than you probably think I am. There's days I have my age showing, and there's days it's not. But I feel I was very blessed,
So what's been your favorite shoot?
My favorite shoot. Oh, I don't know if I can answer that because, well, I'd have to say my first one because it wouldn't affect the feelings of any of my, regular photographers. I have a lot of regular photographers, and I have a main photographer that I spend a lot of time with, and you all know them. So you have your favorites of each set, but I think my favorite was the one that started it. And it was, like I said, a young lady. I had met her, and she showed me her pictures, and I was like, I want this. So I was in the middle of closing my mom's estate. I was in Hillsborough all the time. And I was going through things, and we had all had a group chat talking about, hey, do you want this, or should I give it to Goodwill, or this? And, I was giving things away left and right. So I said, I'm going to miss this place. It's my last day here. So her husband and her got in the car, went to my house, raided my closet. They grabbed my friend from down the street that was a mutual friend. They grabbed everything they could that looked like something I could shoot in, and they drove to Hillsborough. And we took pictures in the house. It was my first bourgeois style.
Now, this is in your mom's house.
In my mom's house, which was a second home she was actually using to store all her stuff.
Oh.
And so I don't know if I can say this, but I used to joke around and think that it was a whorehouse back in the day because of the way it was built. It was an old bed and breakfast, and it was a hotel. It had rooms, and it had, every time you walk around the corner, you'd see another room. You're like, wow, where did this room come from? It's just big, old bed and breakfast style. But my mom had it set up kind of, to look a little bit Victorian in ways. I would walk in a room, and there would be like lingerie laying over the claw tub, and there was a lady that had built the house, a picture of her above the fireplace, and that's the madam. And I think I would just make these jokes. So, I started enhancing those jokes, and the people in town did not like me. I was new. They didn't know what I was doing. What is this woman doing here? And I would put a red light in the porch.
Oh, no.
And I don't even know if a lot of modern day people really know what that means, but I put a red light in the porch. I had found a parking sign, no parking or be towed. I put that up in the front yard where I would park. I had a parking curb. I really enhanced it when I could. I think it took my mind off of what was really going on. So
Now, that was Hillsborough?
Hillsborough was actually.
And not LaGrange?
No, it was a little town called Itasca.
You know about LaGrange?
No. Is there really a whorehouse there? Well,
There
there's really
was.
whorehouses everywhere in the country, from what I hear.
A famous one. And this little whorehouse in Texas movie
Okay.
was about the whorehouse in LaGrange, Texas.
Okay, so that's where that one is. Oh,
Yeah.
that is it abandoned? Can we shoot there?
I don't know.
Can we get in? Can we legally get in?
You used to
That would
could
be
get
neat.
in,
Uh-huh.
but you had to pay your money to get in.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you have to shoot and run. You have to sneak around the corner, take a picture real fast, and yeah, they don't want you to shoot there.
I know one of your photographers.
Yes.
He shoots in a lot of places that is questionable.
Yes, I'm there. I'm there with him. We love that. We love the abandoned places. I'm real picky about where I sit. If there's rodents and feces and, it's been exposed to the elements, I have to put something down before I lay down. And he gives me a hard time about that sometimes. You're too picky. You're too picky. I'm like, hey, well, the collection of laying on rat stuff is not going to be good over time. You want to keep me in the position I'm in right now. We don't want to be sick.
You need to get you a little dust broom.
No, there is something between me and whatever surface I'm on. If you look in some of the pictures, you'll always see that there is probably a black sash or a white one. I try to really match it to the
Environment.
yes. But we have really great pictures in those places. There was an abandoned church that we did, and that was, if you look on my Instagram, you might see me leaning over the pew, and I have a tail, because, we match each other. So he gives me some of the decadent, lovely ones I want, and I give him some of the eccentric ones, like wearing a devil suit, leaning over a pew. So you'll see, if you zoom in, I have something between me and the surface. Or I'm either just not really sitting and look like I'm sitting. I think that's my exercise. I do a lot of exercise from a shoot.
A lot of people don't understand how physically taxing modeling can be.
Right. If you're posing it right, if you're posing correctly to what the shot needs to be, and you'll be sore. If you're not sore, your pictures might not even be that good. You're like, okay, I didn't pose well, because you will be sore.
I've shot models before that I said, now you're going to be sore tomorrow. Oh, no, I work out all the time.
Yeah.
And the next day they call, I am so sore I can't move.
Yes.
Because, yeah, you're using muscles you don't normally use.
That's right. I mean, well, and there is some expressions, like there were some shots that I shot with Glenn, and I would be sitting there stiff and saying that my head can't really move this way. And he's like, no, just stay there.
Yeah.
And I would start complaining or making a motion of, the pain look, and that made the shot. Depending on what it was. There was one where I was on my knees and I was bent all the way backwards laying on the bed, and my knees were kind of in a frog position. I was stretched so hard and I was arched and I was complaining and moaning, and he took the shot and he said, that was it. That was money. And I was like, oh, he did that on purpose. But there's some painful ones, yes. No matter how much you work out or anything, some yoga people can do some of them and it not hurt. But I'm one of those. I'm getting in that shot. I'm gonna make it happen. We'll deal with the pain tomorrow.
What's the Tylenol?
Shot. Yes, I want that shot.
So now you work a 9 to 5, right?
Mm-hmm, correct.
So you only shoot in evenings and weekends.
Yeah, not so much in the evenings, but yes, some of them. Sometimes, with the girls and everything. The weekends are usually the best for me.
If somebody wants to reach out to you, what's the best way?
Instagram.
Okay. Tell everybody what your Instagram is. Say it slowly and then spell it.
You know what? I'm really bad about this because I think it's at Victoria, or it's at Victoria Sloan.
Don't ask me.
Oh, I would have to look. It's Victoria. It's at Victoria Sloan. Usually you can search it that way. It comes up.
VIC.
There'll be a picture of me in a red hat and a red dress that was actually shot at the Covenant.
Well, I know you've shot here quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, I say here,
I
down the
love it
hall.
here. I love it here. I do. I love it here. And I love the people here. They're always around. Generally, if a photographer reaches out to me and the connection is through the Covenant, I feel pretty safe to know that somebody knows them. They're a good group of guys or girls, and that's a good helper that they know the Covenant guys.
Well,
I love you. I love all you guys.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Well, we have some awesome photographers that shoot out of here.
Yeah.
And shoot a lot.
Yeah. There is a lot of really good photographers out there. I look at the pictures and some of them, it's just the talent. You don't think about stuff whenever you're looking at a picture and you're looking at someone taking the shot, and you see the shot as the way it is, but whenever you see the outcome, you're like, wow. It's angling, it's this, it's that.
I've seen shots taken at the studio before that it took me a long time, excuse me, to recognize that I had to identify, well, that's that prop we have, and we have that prop. So, yeah, it took me a long time to realize that was shot there.
Right, because of the talent of the photographer.
Well, and the variety that the studio offers.
Yes, that too.
Yeah.
There is a lot going on in one room that can be moved around to make everything so different. And then the foam, the bathtubs and the foam. There was one time that I was shooting with Glenn here at the Covenant, and we had soap all over the floor, and I was sure I was going to fall. And we had Palmolive, and we had foam, and we've had dry ice.
Glenn always makes a big freaking mess when he shoots. He's sitting over here,
I've had
folks.
popsicles I always get something to eat whenever I would shoot with Glenn here. There was one time that we had chocolate and strawberries and or chocolate and marshmallows, and it was a camping scene. It was really cool. And I don't eat sugar or carbs, so we had a sugar-free one, but it hit that spike of sugar anyway, just because of the glucose response. And I was like, my eyes were shaking. I was like, I can't do anything else with chocolate. But it was really cool. It was messy, but it wasn't anything like the foam and the soap. But hey, it saved on mop water, right?
Sure did.
It
Yeah.
saved on soap.
And yeah, and we have a rain set coming back next week.
A what? A rain?
A rain set. Yeah, we set a rain set up in the studio.
I have actually seen one of the photographers that shoots here did something with some rain once. It was on my feed, and I thought that was really interesting. How do you do that? Can you?
It's trade secret.
Does
We
it,
can't tell
but
anybody.
does it have a reservoir where it collects and goes back through, or
We
how do
don't-
you have the drain off on that happen?
We don't recirculate the water. We tried that.
Oh,
And the
okay.
oil off the body and the hair clogs everything up.
But it
so-
drains. It's
We drain it out as it fills.
okay.
And we have heated water.
No,
So
it needs to be cold.
when we started it was cold.
Yeah.
And it was tough on the models.
Well, yeah, it can be.
It's hard to get a good shoot when you're shivering.
Yes. That is true. I mean, unless it's supposed to be like a snowy type shivery thing, but yeah, the warm water would be good. But sometimes the cold water has a different response for
Oh, yeah.
things too. So I guess that would be good in the summer.
Well, the water's at 110,
Oh,
so it's very warm.
yeah, it's like a hot tub. You should get a hot tub. You know how many people like
Where
to
would I
shoot?
put it?
Wherever.
Just wherever?
Just wherever. You can move it around. We'll put it on. We can get some of those big caster wheels from Amazon, and we can put it on a flat, and we can move it around. If you have a way to drain it.
Well, I can always find a way.
Well, I mean, there's a bathtub in there.
We got 2 tubs.
I don't. Well, that's the size of a hot tub right there. I'm just playing with you.
Well,
But if an opportunity comes up to get a hot tub and you have enough guys that can maybe turn it over on its side, get it in somewhere. I don't know how the structure is set up down there for it to just roll in naturally and it's without being turned over, but it wouldn't be a bad idea.
it'd be fun,
You could charge a lot of money for that one though.
but I don't charge a lot of money for
I
anything.
know. That's the best thing
I know.
to hear is that yes.
I live on handouts.
No. What kind?
Just think, I take food stamps, cash, whatever you want to give me, I'll take it. If it spends,
I love it.
uh,
I love it. I was actually speaking with a photographer last night on Instagram. We're trying to line up a shoot, and he said that he thought that y'all were going to be shutting down. He didn't know
Huh?
if it was this one or if it was another one in this area. And I hope that's not right. Is that not?
not us. No.
Okay, good.
No, but there have been several studios closed down.
Well,
It's a tough business.
hey, they're not y'all.
Well, we've been here 17 years,
Yeah.
and
And it has everything it needs. I mean, it's a great place. This is where
Oh,
I
thank
would
you.
recommend. Actually, I have and I don't know if the photographers booked it. The scheduling of this shoot is from a photographer from New York. He's going to be coming in, and he's wanting to do an 8-hour shoot here of me. I said, okay, so,
well,
I mean, people all around know where it's at. I think he has shot here before. He said, can you shoot for 8 hours? I said, can you? Because I can go all day and all. I mean, yeah, I could shoot for 16. I'm going to hurt the next day, but I'll do it. I'm all about it. You imagine the amount of pictures I'm going to get in that?
at least 3 or 4.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. And that's what I like about all of my shoots. Is somehow they line up to where just about every picture is on point.
Well, it's real easy to get a good picture of a beautiful girl.
Well, thank you.
You know,
You're such a
it's getting
chicken.
good pictures of somebody like me that's difficult.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you have taught me a lot of tiny tips that have helped me with the
Well-
feminine and masculine responses and pictures, and I carry those things.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I carry those things. Because you and I, sometimes we'll be outside together. We've taken a break from shooting, and you're out there, and I learn a lot from you. I'm very enlightened. Very
Well-
enlightened. I tell everybody, I just love David. He is so special.
And we'll have to cut this part out because I want my wife to see it.
No, I think, well, she's met me.
I know.
She's met me.
Yeah, you've been over the house
Yeah.
singing.
Yeah, I actually, yes. I feel sorry for y'all to have to hear me sing. But everyone else did a great job, so we made up for it.
Back several months ago, my wife, 2 or 3 of her family were in town, and they were in the den doing karaoke.
Yes, it's fun.
And it's getting close to midnight. And I was sitting in the garage smoking. And I thought, they just taught me how to cast to the TV. So I get on my phone, I pull up the song "The Party's Over" by Willie Nelson on
Okay.
video.
Uh-huh.
And, the little icon pops up, cast to TV. So I did. I didn't think it would actually go through the wall. And so they're sitting there doing karaoke.
And then,
And the next thing that comes up is Willie Nelson, "Turn out the lights, the party's over." And they said, I could hear, because I was
Right.
on the other side of the wall. How'd that happen? And then they all died laughing. They figured out that I was telling them, time to turn out the lights, the party's over.
I can imagine. What did you start singing? You should have started singing.
No, you don't want to hear me sing.
Well, that could have been a cue that it was your turn.
No, it's not. It's never my turn to sing. Y'all are lucky. This is actually my voice. So it doesn't change, unfortunately. So can y'all believe me singing with this voice? It's not pretty.
Yes.
It's not pretty.
I could see it. I'm
not pretty.
still thinking about whenever I saw that clip of you talking with the young lady that was interviewing you about the lipstick and the wig and getting shoot ready. I think you should do it.
Well, I'm going to.
I think you should.
I'm going to.
Now, what photographer are you going to choose?
Oh, I don't know.
All of them? You should choose all of them.
We'll do a meetup.
Yeah. I've heard of those.
Yeah, haven't done one yet.
No.
We need to do one for you.
I would like that. That would be good. That would be fun.
Well, why don't we, folks, we're going to leave you here, and we're going to go plan a meetup with Victoria.
That sounds
And hit her up on Instagram, Victoria Sloan. And I think it's Victoria_Sloan, but I may
That's
be.
it. That is it.
Yeah. All right, folks, till next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was fun.
Yes, that was fun. I love it.